We will now create the final section of this homepage, the footer. We see that we have a different background color, a light gray color, and then we have 4 lists with header and a list of links. And for the third list, we also have a bunch of icons for these social links, and the fourth list is actually not a list, but it's an address for the company. In the bottom, we have a centered copyright notice. So let's go ahead and create this. We go all the way down after our last closing div element and create our footer tag. Inside of this, we now create a new UI container to center the content on page and give it a width and max width. Then we create a new grid by adding a div tag with the classes UI and grid, and this will be a 4-column grid, just as we saw from before with our news section. So I'll just copy all of these classes up here, then I'll paste it in to a new div tag like so. Inside of this, I'll add a heading element using an H6 heading class or heading tag, and I'll give the heading tag the classes UI, small, and header, and add the text quick links and close the heading element again. Then I'll create a div tag with the class UI and list, and inside of this I'll add the first item, a div tag with the class item, inside of this an anchor tag leading to the current page index.html and with the text home. So this will just duplicate the links from the navigation in the top menu. I'll duplicate this line a few times and update the values to services, to about, to team, and to contact. This was our first list and first column. Now I'll copy and paste this column. I'll change the header to information. I'll remove 2 of the items here. Then I'll just change the value in our href to #0, just so you can click on them without anything happening, just for demonstration. And now I'll update the text to legal information, job opportunities, and frequently asked questions. Now I'll paste in the code for the column again to create our third column. I'll change the heading, the header text to follow us, and then I'll also change these values here for the links. And now I'll add an icon to these items using an I tag with the class Facebook and the class icon. And remember to close our I tag again and add a space after it. Then I'll change the second one to Instagram, the third one to Twitter, the fourth one to YouTube, and the fifth one to LinkedIn. I'll change the text value accordingly to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or the third one was Twitter, the fourth one is YouTube, and the last one is LinkedIn. I'll paste in all the code one final time and remove the list markup, change the text of the header to our location. Then I'll add the address tag. Then inside of this, first I'll add a strong tag to highlight the company name, like so. Then in the end include a line break, the BR tag. Then we can add a street name, one more line break, then zip code and city, and one more line break. Then I'll add the phone number. First I'll add a phone icon by using the I tag with the classes phone and icon, and close the I tag again. Then a space followed by an anchor tag with an href value with the prefix tel : and then we can add the number, which will just be +1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 0 7 8 9 0 0, like so. And we can write it in a more human-friendly way with brackets, space and dash or whatever you want. Close our A tag again and add our final line break. Then I'll add a new icon, the envelope icon, to provide the mail. Remember to close the I tag, add a space, add an anchor tag. This time the value in the href attribute will have the prefix mail to : so it will open this mail in your mail program. The other one, tel : will try to call this number if you want. Now we'll just add the email info@domain.com, and then we can write it again as the text info@domain.com. Close our anchor tag, and this was our last line break, so we don't add another one. After our two div tags here, after our grid, we can see that this corresponds to the opening grid tag. We'll insert a paragraph with the classes UI center aligned tiny gray header. So to create this tiny header with the color gray, that will be center aligned. We'll write the HTML entity for the copyright symbol, &copy semicolon, then 2017, company name, all rights reserved, and close our paragraph tag again. Now let's take a look in the browser, select the right tab and refresh. We can see it looks almost finished. We can see that the grid works. Initially it's stacked on top of each other, then it turns into a 2-column grid on this size, and then a 4-column grid. However, we can see that we're missing some spacing and the gray background color. We have to add that by ourselves. So to do that, we'll scroll up to the top here, and we'll add some CSS in a style tag inside of our head tag with the type attribute with the value text/CSS. Inside of this, we'll target our footer, like so, our footer element, and then we'll set the background color to white smoke, and we'll set the padding top to 4 rem and the padding bottom to 4 rem, and finally our margin top to 2 rem. So let's save this, go back and refresh. Now we can see the background and the spacing that we wanted. This was the last section of our home page. We'll now continue creating our next page for this website, the services page.